Hey everyone, welcome back to the sunny side. I'm Sunny, and this video today on Astro Stalking, we're going to have a look at Donald Trump versus that woman E. Jean Carroll. Guys, got that? We're going to look at the synastry chart. We're going to look at Donald Trump versus E. Jean Carroll. We're going to look at their astrological charts. We're going to look at the compatibility, blah, 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 blah. Just a little bit of a rundown. I'm a professional astrologer. I don't really follow what's going on in the news, but this came across the desk and they said, hey, Sonny, check it out. So we're going to check it out. So here's what happened. You know, everybody be cool. I might be a little insensitive as we read it and a little cold as we read the chart, but here we go. So first, Donald Trump apparently, not apparently, he's been convicted or whatever of raping this woman. So that's the deal. And there was a huge, or not yet, but they're in the process of finding out the settlement, how much he has to pay her in compensation. Everybody cool? Okay, so as professional astrologers, we should know before I even look at this chart what we're going to see. So we should see signs of rape, right? If she was raped, we should see signs of abuse in relationships somewhere in the chart. So you guys take a moment. I'm going to say these things to you guys, and for those who used to study astrology with me or those who hang out on the sunny side on our live streams, just write down in the comment sections or just write it down. This woman was raped. It's going to say it in her chart, right? So you guys know, write down a couple of 5-point spots in the chart where that might be. Okay, for next. Okay, next. It would be easy to say this was a secret. I was thinking about this going into it. It'd be easy to say secret relationship or this kind of stuff, but the relationship is extremely public, so this can't be that. Violence in relationships, or where are we going to see violence in relationships? We're going to, okay, so blah, 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 blah. What else might you see as we're moving into the chart? So you're going to see you should see a huge financial settlement in her chart, or a change in finances. Maybe a change in, there should be popularity in her chart because she's really popular right now. Everything's in the news. And they probably had they obviously had a relationship. So we'll see some connections. When you look at Donald Trump's chart, he's popular anyways. So he's not going to be popular by transit. He is popular. But there are two things, or there's one planetary transit that's really big right now that you should take notice of. And as I typed in their charts, I'm like, oh my goodness, these guys are in trouble. And so one is a Gemini, Trump's a Gemini, and E. Jean Carroll is a Sagittarius. And both Geminis and Sagittarius are in a lot of trouble right now. So there you go. All right, let's get down to the chart. Okay, so when you're looking at a chart, let's just do the thing. Everybody be cool. Everybody be cool. So this is E. Jean Carroll's chart. Now, when you don't have the birth time, so if you don't know how to do sun and moon astrology, you're not going to be able to do this. So just like, if you can't do astrology without the sun sign, you're in a lot of trouble. Without the time of birth, you're in a lot of trouble. But if you can, it's pretty easy. Okay, so here we go. And I set it up the chart so it's easier for you guys to see. Now, for those who hang out on the sunny side, you can see right away in E. Jean Carroll's chart, right away, that she has abuse, sudden and unexpected abuse, divorce, violence in relationships, right? Mars conjunct Uranus is unexpected violence. Like, that's what it is, man. Like, that's what it is. It's unexpected violence. There was probably unexpected violence around the time she was born. Anyways, it kind of signals either someone is not ever going to get married, or they're going to want freedom in relationships, or they might be forced into marriage or forced into some kind of partnership against their will, right? Saturn is here as well. We're going to talk about that in a sec. But Saturn is there as well. And it's the entire part of the chart is very negative. So so what we have here is abuse. So that is abuse in that is abuse in relationships. is violence in relationships. It's cheating in relationships. It's desiring unexpected, unusual in relationships. I would imagine she had some really violent sex in her lifetime. I would definitely say she's been abused. And it says she likes older guys. It's like older, stable guys, but she has a problem with them. That's Saturn right there. But we also have the moon there. And the moon is a hot cold in relationships in that situation. And it's very close to Saturn. So she would have repressed her true emotions in relationships. All right, that's just showing you that right off the bat. And every single one of you should have seen that right away. In addition to that, she's born under a full moon and a full Saturn, so to speak. Full moon highlighting Saturn, right? And so when you're born under a full moon, you tend to give in to other people in relation. You tend to do what other people say. Just regardless of where it falls in your chart, you tend to be a bit wishy-washy, and you tend not to have a decisive stand on things, and you tend to do things that other people say. Like that's what they did. Someone born under a full moon. So they have their desires on full display, okay? But their desires tend to lean towards what their partner wants. If you were born under a new moon, you would tend to do what you want, right? But under a full moon, you tend to do what the partner wants. Anyways, she's a Sagittarius. She's a truth teller. She's definitely a truth teller and definitely a straight shooter. And there's definitely more to this story than we realize. But she does have violence in relationships. She has cheating in relationships. She has freedom and openness in relationships. If I saw this as someone I didn't know anything about, I'd say they probably either got divorced or they don't want to get married. They have an alternate lifestyle, freedom in relationships. They see multiple guys. And they absolutely go hot cold in relationships. They're absolutely going to get divorced if they wanted to get. Absolutely. There's also death in relationships. Not necessarily death in relationships. There's problems. All right, next. What else is going on here? Pluto is conjunct the North Node. That's going to blow up Pluto, right? That's going to blow up Pluto themes in her life. So if you think of Pluto as violent, if you think of Pluto as breaking things, if you think of Pluto as death, if you think of Pluto as endings, this chart is that by the North Node, all of that of Pluto is highlighted without consequence or without substance. And that's what happens with the North Node. It blows things up and it makes it super big and super thing. And you're like, what the hell is going on, man? Why did we blow all this crap out of proportion? That's kind of what's going on with the North Node and Pluto. Like Pluto breaks wherever it is in your chart. And so this, like, just saying, so, you know, we're not sure how the houses line up in this chart, and let's just move on. Let's not make anything up. But in this chart, we have themes of Pluto, which is breaking, which is endings, which can be abuse. It's where there's always a problem and always a restructuring. In her life, it's conjunct Pluto, so it's blown out of proportion. And that's what it means, blown out of proportion. Not just make famous. So when this happens by transit in your chart, and I say to you guys, you have an opportunity to be famous in the next 2 years. It's going to be blown out of proportion. And then I say to you guys, and when I'm doing your charts, I say, make sure you put something behind that and you really do something solid, or else it's going to be infamous instead of famous. And that's exactly what's going on. And that's what's going on with her. So, but that doesn't negate anything else. I'm just reading the chart because here, we'll see. We'll see what happens when we put Trump's chart on here. Anything else in this chart that's going to happen? Anything crazy bananas and like anything goofy? 9 degrees, when the world interrupts or squares the nodes, is usually a problem, but it's not really. Her nodes aren't really that square. I mean, Venus is squaring the nodes, so her life, that's not the greatest. That could lead to the death of a partner or a death of a loved one or abuse in a relationship. So, maybe there was a problem with her parents growing up. We can't really tell from this chart. All right, next, what else do we need to know? Oftentimes when there are No, we're gonna leave it at that with this chart. That was that was a solid analysis of that. And this tends to be the important area of the chart. All right, let's pull up Donald Trump's chart and I want to show you guys something with this Sagittarius. I'm going to show you the transits because you guys ask me questions. If I was doing this live, you'd say, hey, Sunny, is she going to make any money? You're going to want to know who's going to win the case and how's it going to. And so you ask me these questions. Like when we're trying to figure out who's going to win the presidential election in the United States, you ask me questions like, is someone going to be moving maybe? And like, so let's check this. Let me show you something in the transits here. She's going through a major change, like obviously, right? But check this out. So check this out. Let me just pull this up. So we're going to see right here. We're seeing some crazy stuff. So this is today. So down here in this part of the chart, Pluto is marching out of Capricorn. Pluto is leaving Capricorn. And later on in the year, it's going to, in this year, 2024, it's going to make a really harsh and nasty square to her Venus. So when Pluto does that, that's going to break up her Venus. And Venus themes are love and money. Venus is your money. So if Saturn squares your Venus by transit, you're going to get divorced and lose your job. It's what happens. So you lose your buddy. Now, in this situation, it's not Saturn. It's actually Pluto. And Pluto breaks things and and should you desire to move forward, it's going to bring a powerful change in your life. It's often a powerful change that you work towards, obviously, or a new beginning, a resurrection, a very powerful resurrection after a major downfall. And this is a square, so that's going to be as big as a downfall as you can get. And it doesn't happen to everyone. Pluto's a 250-year transit, so it doesn't happen to everybody. But in this case, later on in the year, Pluto's going to, she should make a lot of money. A big change in her Venus is coming this year. Right now, with Venus, Saturn at 4 degrees, right? These degrees are lining up. Saturn at 4 degrees Pisces is making a very pleasant, although shameful in a way, that's just a word, I'm going to explain in a sec, aspect to Venus. So the hard work and all the Saturn stuff, and Saturn is where you're tormented in life, okay? It means it's one of the things, it's the planet of karma, it means where you're tormented. And so Saturn, her torment is making a very nice aspect to her money right now. So if she does the Saturn correctly, she's going to come out ahead looking good. Later on in the year, something about her is going to dramatically change, her Venus and all that stuff. Maybe she changes her name or something later on in the year and changes her personality or what changes, not personality, but changes her identity to go collect her money and live. All right, next, what else is anything else going on in her chart? Those are the two nasty ones, right? I'm not looking too closely at the chart, like to see what's really going on, because you guys want to see Donald Trump's chart, right? Look at this. Jupiter at 6 degrees is directly opposite her Venus, right? That's making money through partnerships. It's so funny. All right, whatever, man. Okay, let's get on with it. That conjunction is going to happen over here at 22 degrees in April that everyone's talking about, 22 degrees. All right, let's move on. Okay, so let's now look at Donald Trump's chart with E. Jean Carroll and how they interacted. So I'm going to put E. Jean Carroll on the inside and Donald Trump on the outside. That's going to show how he affected her. But we're not using birth times. So we're doing planet aspects here. So here we go. But the planet aspects are what I use to tell you guys if it's a real relationship or if it's this or if it's that or if it's really negative. So thanks for sticking around at this time in the video. And I already know something about this chart. that you're going to want to see. So please subscribe to the channel. Please share the video, but really don't bug me. So like, you know, if you want to, I don't usually answer my messages, and it's really difficult to get in for a reading for me. So don't bug me. But you're welcome in the live streams to hang out with the Sunnysiders. All right, so Trump's on the outside. So straight up, straight up, straight up, no questions asked. First of all, she's a Sagittarius, she's a Gemini, they complete each other. This is a relationship, period. Okay? I don't know the deal. I don't research these. I don't need to be influenced by this. I know it's, you know, we're psychic here. So like, even, whatever. So like, right off, this is an attraction. Right off the bat, this is an attraction. What type of attraction we'll see. Next, okay, right off the bat. Next, this is one of the strongest, this is one of the absolute strongest pulls in all of relationship astrology. The strongest. And I talk about it all the time. Like absolutely all the time. Both of these guys are born under full moons. For whatever reason, both of these, I thought Trump's moon was in Cancer, but I knew he was born under a full moon. All right. Trump's moon is in Gemini. According to this chart, Trump's moon is in Gemini. No, sorry. According to this chart, Trump's moon is in Sagittarius. Let me stick to the synastry here. This combination here, they're both born under full moons. Not only that, Trump's nodes, right? These U's here are highlighted. That's more than just your conscious. That's your subconscious. So your conscious and subconscious are here. They have the strongest pulls you can get in astrology for a relationship. These guys are karmically tied together. These guys have a past life connection. If you believe in that frou-frou astrology stuff, past life connection and karma and all that crap, they have it. It's right there. Now, you want to know this because this says right there, it says without any doubt, without any question, they really like each other. Right? There was, regardless of what anybody says about anyone else, there's a tremendous amount of attraction in this chart. Regardless of anybody says to anybody else, these guys can't really let each other go. This lifetime, last lifetime, next lifetime. And you guys heard me say this a million times. This is the number one thing in astrology. So they were always destined for this. Did they have to butt heads? I don't think they had to butt heads, but like, I don't think they had to butt heads because these guys clearly, remember what I just said, if you're born under a full moon, you're going to do the other person, right? See, the energy goes from her sun to her moon to his sun, which is right there conjunct. And Trump's energy goes from his sun, right, up, and his sun energy is conjunct the North Node. We say this a million times. His sun energy, Trump is messed up. Okay, he has mental problems, and he has astrological mental problems because his sun is conjunct his North Node. Just as I said, E-Ray's was going through the Pluto thing. Just as they described the Pluto, the North Node blowing up her Pluto, this death and destruction that follows her everywhere in life. Right? She has uncontrolled death and destruction and abuse everywhere in her life. I would bet it's not just Trump, but it's other places. And she's tracting is out of control. Just like that's out of control, Trump's sun energy is out of control. His ego is getting, his sun energy is super blown up by the freaking North Node without substance. Remember, North Node is exploded without substance. So major egomaniac. And the problem is, on the other side of it, he has the South Node is conjunct the moon. If you read any Vedic astrology of any kind, it will say the sun and the moon are enemies of the nodes. That's what it is. The sun and the moon represent light, the two lights, and the nodes, darkness. Okay, an eclipse, it goes dark, man. All right, enough. Now, the difference between the South Node and the North Node, is the North Node. As I was saying, the North Node blows everything up, right? It blows it up. Boom, 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 for no reason. There's nothing here that just blows it up. The South Node over here sucks it all in, right? And then drains it away. There's always a problem. So when the moon, right? So when the moon is conjunct the South Node, as it is in Trump's chart, people become quote unquote loony, right? It's a full moon, a werewolf at the full moon, right? The guy's subconscious craziness is on full display. Now the thing with the South Node, it pulls in your real emotions, your real thing, your real this, your real that. It makes you not want to love other people. It makes you not want to trust anyone, right? It's an egomaniac who really doesn't trust anyone. So it gets highlighted here, right? This North Node full moon thing, South Node thing, that's really bad. That's really bad. All right, next. Anyways, these two guys at one point were, and they may still be, completely in love. Completely. And I just showed you how the energy moves from one chart to the other, and it moves in this cycle, and it's kind of a locked loop. It's quite fascinating how these guys do their thing. All right, so what else is going on? So what else is going on in this chart? Is there any other things? Normally for big problems in relationships, right? Like big problems, we look for Chiron clashes. And you guys have heard me say that before. So her Chiron is in Virgo. So Virgo squares, oh wow, he's got a bit of a clash. It's really good. Not really. Like, I mean, Virgo squares Gemini, I guess her Chiron is enough to square that. Square his nodes. I don't know that it's that much, but both of these guys have things in their charts that blow things out of proportion. What about Trump at 14 degrees Libra? Does she have anything? Yeah, well, her sun squares the nodes, man. No, it doesn't. Her sun's in Gemini. Nah, man. She doesn't have any Capricorn to square the Libra, and she doesn't have any Aries or Capricorn to square the Libra. She didn't really have anything. So, like, I mean, so, like, there's a little, anyways, so, like, what else? Like, his Mars is at 26 degrees. That's violence. You know, his Mars makes a really nice, really nice trine to her sun. He thinks she's sexy, okay? Mars trine sun. Mars, this is my energy, man. Sun, that's the girl. Mars trine sun. I'm going after her. Not in a screwy square kind of way, like, oh wow, she's so sexy, but she's a bitch to me. But like in a trine, yeah, she's looking at you. So that's what's these two guys. This is astrologically. Astrologically, so you want to know what happened, right? And it's conjunct, it's Jupiter. Like, it's Jupiter. Oh my god, like, they're really lucky together, right? Like, look at that. I just told you guys a couple of days ago, I delineated a chart where I said if you want to be famous, you need Jupiter blowing up some part of your chart. And we just looked at one of Gina's friends where Jupiter conjunct Neptune was trining the moon. That's going to blow up her moon. Her moon, her essence, her energy, her subconscious. It's on the action. This girl this E-ray has Jupiter blowing up her sun, right? And to some extent, she's supported by the moon. And she was destined for popularity. It's her son, right? She was destined for some kind of popularity, regardless of any kind of anything. I don't see social justice warrior anywhere in the chart, anywhere from anybody. I don't see sneaky behavior anywhere in the chart. I don't. Not really, but I'm not really like super digging in here. I'm just kind of like doing this thing for you guys. But I don't see sneaky in the chart. I don't see stabbing in the back in the chart. I see a real, honest to God, overly sex-crazed relationship is what I see. And regardless of what happened, regardless of what we know, That's what's going on. Look, Trump's got problems with chicks and things. Like, look, his Saturn is conjunct his Venus. Like, that's, oh, sorry, sorry. Like, yeah, like, that's his Venus, his love, and his money is always getting screwed up, man. Just probably he's gonna. Anyways, there you go, guys. So that's what we know. If you wanted to, like, I didn't, not really sure what else you want me to look for, what other questions that you might have. Leave them in the comments section. Maybe we'll dig it up. These little astro stalking videos are only supposed to be 10 minutes long. This is 25 minutes. Thanks for hanging out. I super appreciate it. If you have any other questions or comments, let me know. If you want a private reading, maybe go see someone else first. Because I don't really. But tune into the live stream and check out the Sunny Side if you want to see more of this stuff. That's the Action Man from TheSunnySide.net. Oh wait, so this is a chart where if you showed me this chart and said, "Hey, Sunny, what's the chances of a relationship?" I would say 100%. I would say these guys are 100% destined to be together. I'd say each person individually is truly fucked up. I would say the girl is destined for she wants an open relationship. She wants an open relationship with this guy. There is going to be a major problem. There's more to it than I said. Like his Saturn is on top. His north node is blowing up her Saturn. So his north node is making her Saturn freak out, right? Control, restriction, take away, torment. Like, he's freaking her Saturn out. Just like she freaks out his moon, right? He freaks out her Saturn, which is like gotta control things. So like these guys are fucked up together, but like there's total attraction. There's a whole bunch going on. Thanks for staying to this part of the video. I wish you the best. Leave your questions and comments. Everybody be cool, and I'll catch you guys soon.